You all are, and I feel for it. But the ancestors did not create the fold for that. They're going to do what they do. The ancestors created the fold so we can address things like Jason Walker, so we can address things like James Williams. This man had a family, children in his house. I'm saying if this Bella doesn't stop driving by my house, make an example of him. Make an example of them. Because at the end of the day, this is who we need to be talking about. We need to be bringing awareness to. Yeah. I had to step out. May I ask the subject of conversation? We're just talking about Rig got swatted. US Army Overlord got swatted tonight. And I'm waiting for Jolly to get home to hook up with us, because Jolly was at his house in 4 minutes. Jolly and him, they live in the same area. Jolly was at his house in 4 minutes. Jolly broke laws to get there. Yeah, Jolly broke laws to get there. But see, this is why I tell people, come on here and talk about, oh, this, and white this, and white. Man, I'm telling you, you don't get to talk about anybody that stand with me. It's over. Some of y'all will still be at home. People, hey, come on, I got this going on. And somewhere power to the people. Yeah,
power to the people.
Man, you all right? Man, I know you broke several laws getting there, huh?
Bro, I broke a lot of laws getting there.
That's it. And I know you would.
Like what happened was, I was actually on my computer doing some shit. My phone vibrated, and I honestly don't always check it, but I was like, let me see what this is, and it said Rig's wife, and I was like, why is she texting me right now? It's kind of weird. So is it frozen?
Oh, okay. Are we frozen?
No, I was having bad service earlier. I double checking. So anyway, I said, why is Rig's wife texting me this hour? That's kind of strange. I opened up and said, we being swatted. My only thought was, let me get there fast enough to tell these cops, hold up, I know this guy, this is a swatting, please stop, whatever I got to do, you know what I'm saying, save his life. And so, yeah, going out my neighborhood at the first stoplight, it was red. I was like, fuck this, I don't see nobody coming, we gone. And then I busted that right. And then there was the next stoplight was red. I thought to myself, is every goddamn light in town red right now? But fuck it, dude. I was just looking left and I don't see no lights. Fuck it, we gone. But turns out I'm good because every fucking police officer in the town was at his
there. You don't have to worry. They're there. They're surrounding the house.
You know what I'm saying? Bruh, here's the thing that people don't understand. I mean, I think they do understand it. But in case you don't understand it, not only is swatting a way to get somebody killed, swatting a black man is more likely to get them killed. And just so we're real clear, his wife was in tears. His kids was in the room shook. This is not fake. People's lives are affected by this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was angry, and he's angry. But we have to funnel that anger and handle it the right way by using the federal authorities. Because if you do it the wrong way, then, they still win.
Yeah. They win. But I guarantee you, it'll be the last victory they have.
That's right. So the good news is, here's what happened. Last week, somebody tried to deliver a pizza to his house. Pizza man showed up. He didn't call no pizza. They thought maybe it's a case of mistaken address. Another pizza man showed up 20 minutes later from another joint. I said, hey. And he knew it. He said, yeah, somebody's ordering this pizza to my house. I said, listen to me. Don't say nothing about it online. He goes, yeah, then they'll know it's my house. And no, not because of that. They want you to say something. They get that satisfaction out of it. Right. Don't say nothing. Let them call themselves out. Because these motherfuckers want you to talk about it. So if you don't say nothing about it, they'll bring it up. Sure as motherfucking shit. 2 days go by. He's on his Twitch stream. Random guy calls in and says, "You don't like pizza? Bingo, got you." Right? And I literally told Rick they would do that. And he called me up, "Yo, you nailed it." I said, "I told you." I said, "Save that number and save that live," which of course Twitch automatically saves a live. And then the same motherfucker called back and was calling him the N-word, Hardy, or cowards behind fake numbers, like always. And now 1 week later, he gets swatted. Now, what pisses me off, not pisses me off, but I got on Rig's ass. I told Rig after that pizza shit, I said, call the local police and let them know this motherfucker's doing this in case he tries to swat you. And then sure as shit, that cop that was there, when I got to his house, the cops was leaving and the one cop was taking his statement and reporting shit. And I was filming him. He didn't know I was filming him, but just for every cop watching this, if you see me, I'm filming you. I always film the police. But anyway, the cop told Rig, he said, had we known that you're a streamer and well-known, we would have handled it different. I looked at Rig, I said, motherfucker. He said, yeah, he told me that last week. I said, I told you, bro. So, but long story short, the good news is the guy basically has identified himself. And I hope he's watching this. And I hope you know that it is currently my mission. And in case you don't know me, motherfucker, I make missions complete. That you go to federal prison. So prepare for that.
And my mission is to make sure that one of my brothers fucks you while you're there.
Please make sure they do. And whoever it is, let me know the fucking DOC number so I can put money on the books.
I got you. I'll be able to take care of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Please,
yeah, we're gonna show you how to weaponize some systems. Yeah, we'll show you how to weaponize some systems.
There's
I'll make sure Tiny. I'll make sure Tiny. Yeah, and you can call me what you want to. You can go say I'm about what you want to. You can live record this and play it on your stream and say I'm endorsing something. Say what you want to, but understand, spell my name right.
That's right.
I said it.
And my wife
said it, and I wasn't joking. I'm gonna give you everything you need for your live. I wasn't joking. I definitely will reach out to every federal prison I know, because I'm sure I know somebody in one of them, or can find somebody who knows somebody in one. And a couple of dollars on a canteen will make a world of things happen.
I will make sure the motherfucker got commissary for a year. I said it, a year. I'll make sure you got commissary. Yeah. Look, my wife said, well, if he told you he was being swatted, why didn't you take your gun? I said, 2 reasons. She could have been wrong. Maybe it was bad guys with guns. And number 2, I don't know. I just grab guns. But see, but that's what I want people to understand when you swat motherfuckers. Rig's instinct was to grab his gun. The reason that he grabbed the gun, his wife said, what if we're being swatted? And Rig said, okay, you're right. Yeah. But had he followed his instinct and grabbed that gun, they would have shot and killed him. It angers me to the point of I'm just trying to keep myself calm that they tried to kill my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. And why is it in this country that in order to stand up for equality and equity, that's all we stand up for is equality and equity. We're not saying kill this guy or do that. We're just saying equality and equity. That comes with the potential death sentence. If you don't realize that and understand something's wrong with this motherfucking greatest country on earth, then you're the greatest idiot on earth.
True that. And you know what? It's not even at this point. No, it's not idiocy. It's you choose. You are choosing. In 2022, if that is your stance, you're not an idiot. You're not stupid. You are choosing your path. And like I keep saying, I'm through with trying to teach you and turn people from paths. I'm here to show you the consequences of those actions. I'm not here to talk about why is this happening. Like I said, we got Jason. Jason Walker is dead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And said he jumped on the hood of a car, but yet and still he's laying with his back
shoes off
to the driver, shoes off in the street by the back of the cab. What kind of James Bond type shit is this? And then you get the box, the black box in the truck that says this truck hadn't struck anybody or anything. Do you understand? If it wasn't, the police put that narrative out themselves that he jumped on the hood of the car and did all these James Bond
And
type moves.
eyewitness, Elizabeth Ricks is the only eyewitness. When I say only eyewitness, she's the only one who saw the beginning to the end. The other people that was there, they came out after they heard the gunshots. Elizabeth Ricks was the only eyewitness of the entire event. The only eyewitness available said he got struck by the truck, not jumped on the goddamn motherfucker. Because what human being says, you know, I'm going to jump on this moving fucking truck?
And I'm just saying, I'm going with the technology. Everybody, the technology is not lying. I'm going with the black box. You shot this man in the back. You shot this man in the back, and he was no threat to you because the autopsy are not even finding in the autopsy. They leaked a part of the autopsy report, right? No contusions except from bullets.
Well, I was on a Zoom call this morning with Mr. Walker's family. So we're going down there Friday to stand in solidarity with the family. And this morning I was on a phone call with Mr. Walker's family, and the local Fayetteville Pact. This afternoon I was on a Zoom call with the Fayetteville Pact, the Fayetteville Action Movement, the local Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton Gun Club right there in Fayetteville, the family, and Mr. Blake and Miss Austin, all of us on a Zoom call, and we was setting up the rally for Friday. From talking with the family and talking with everybody in Fayetteville who know him, not only is he a local activist,
right,
but he was literally considered by those in the community as one of the kindest men in the community. He actively sought to turn people away from gangs, guns, and violence and turn them on to education and business. So you're telling me, crooked ass cops, that man was like, let me go jump on this truck and threaten a man. Get the fuck out, bro.
Right.
And then, like you said, he got shot in the back. Like you said, people who are threatening you don't get shot in the back.
Right.
And you know, they keep putting out statements that the eyewitness said he wasn't hit by a truck. We've spoken to the eyewitness. She says, and I got it recorded on video, that he was hit by the truck. So, oh, and by the way, I got another video that I haven't done. I was about to make a video about this when Rig got swatted, and I'll make a video soon. The local news station, they sent me this recording of it. The local news station literally put a story out that said, man on a motorcycle was hit by a guy in a truck. They are literally changing the entire story.
Yeah, I put, like I said, I put the backpedaling up. I put the original press release up where they said it. I put the part where the black box says something different. Put all that up because the story is a work in progress. And it's always a work in progress. But at the end of the day, you can't argue with the body. You can't argue with laying at the back of the truck. You can't argue that no black man runs out into traffic. I'm sorry. Let's be realistic. We're not running into traffic. Yeah. Even when I ran from the police, you know what I never did? I never ran into traffic.
And check me out. I want everybody to understand the tactics of the police department and everything. If you look across the media, they're all saying the same story about him running into traffic. You know why? Because what happens is the first story that comes out, the Associated Press picks that up. And whatever the Associated Press picks up, everybody else picks up. Right. And the police know that. So even if you put out a bad story first, your bad story will get more attention than the real story.
Than the real story.
The first story.
That's it.
And so, all this bullshit. But listen, there's a press release that came out today. I'm going to put you on to something. There's a press release that came out today.
Yeah, I got it.
I wrote that because luckily,
you wrote that.
I wrote that because I was the one that put together the whole rally on Friday. So the local action committees asked me would I put out the press release for the local press. I said I got you. So I wrote the press release because I'm going to fucking make sure that the real story is put out in this motherfucker. Because I'll be goddamn if you're going to control the narrative and tell some bullshit lies when the only eyewitness available is literally saying he was hit by the goddamn truck. And then he was a threat to your family, but you got out of your truck and shot him in the back. It don't even take a half a brain or a quarter of a brain to call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I call bullshit on all of it. Right.
All of it.
All of it. Anytime, every narrative the police putting out, I'm calling bullshit on when I have technology at my disposal. I'm waiting for the Hubble telescope pictures. I'm waiting for, like you say, and then you get I saw the eyewitnesses Facebook and I'm looking at it and looking at the story, right? And my thing is, and I look at that video and I put all that aside. We'll come back to that. But I look at the video after the fact, after you shot this man and you're an officer, protect and serve the community, right? You have somebody laying here dying.
Yeah.
And you offer aid. You on the phone. You did the same thing Amber Geyer did. Amber Geyer did not call 911 when she first got on the phone. She called her boyfriend supervisor. That's it.
Cover her ass first.
Yeah. So I am not buying any. My whole video point is that the story of how this man was murdered is not being told yet. Nope. But guess what? When the coroner finishes and the independent, if we have to call, what's his name? The coroner that always comes in, do autopsies after the fact, Michael Bandon. If we have to call
the independent. Yeah.
The independent. Yeah. We got to call him in because the body is not going to lie.
Nope. And let me add to what you're saying. The truth will come to bear. And to the Fayetteville Police Department, to Chief Gina V. Hawkins. Police Department, and to everybody else who's trying to cover this story up. This morning, after my phone call, check this out. After my phone call with the family, I told them, I said, we can get in touch with Attorney Ben Crump. They said, could you please? I called Mr. Jacob Blake. Mr. Jacob Blake got Mr. Crump on the phone. As of this afternoon, the family has retained the services of Attorney Ben Crump. Now, I want the Fayetteville Police Department to understand that means we on your ass. We're not going around. We're not going away. As of 1 o'clock this afternoon, we was on the phone with Reverend Al Sharpton, who was actually in California at the time, with the family of Valentino, the 14-year-old girl that had been murdered by the LA.
Yeah, got murdered in a changing room.
In a changing room. Mr. Sharpton was with them. However, we got him on the phone, and he informed us that he would be en route back to the East Coast. And currently, our plans to have Mr. Sharpton join us this weekend, because you know why? Because I want to make sure that maximum national news attention is on that ass. And so when that true story comes out, the one you're talking about, I want to make sure that the entire fucking nation sees that he was lying from the beginning. From the beginning. Why is this motherfucker on paid leave when it happened when he was off duty?
Make it make sense. And let's not forget, we still got James Williams too. We got James Williams in Canton, Ohio, in his backyard on New Year's night.
Doing some shit everybody does.
You fired through a privacy fence. Didn't announce yourself. You fired through a privacy fence at a home where children were present. You don't know who you're firing at in the backyard. And what is your excuse? I feared for my life. You know how many times I've been around gunfire that was shot in the air, and I know the difference in gunfire shot in the air and gunfire shot towards me.
And anything aside, I'm sick and tired of us talking about they are public servants. People need to understand that means you was trained. And guess what? I was trained when I was in the military. And even though maybe I hear gunfire and I get scared for my life, I will never panic shoot. I'll never just shoot through a fence. I will assess my surroundings. I will practice what we call in the military tactical patience. I will put myself in a safe position. I will assess the situation until I acquire a better purview to know what my target is, at which point I would have realized, oh, it's just that guy shooting off of all day New Year's Eve. Now, let's go ahead and do a PSA. If you're watching this live, it is completely unsafe to shoot your gun in the air. Please don't do it. Not only because of cops might shoot and kill you because they're a bunch of cowards, but also because those bullets got to land eventually. Don't do it. Now, for this motherfucker to shoot through a fence, bro, there's got to be a point where we draw a line in the sand and say, This right here is what we like to call the reasonable person standard. What reasonable person, just like the cops that shot Breonna Taylor. The only cop that actually got in trouble was the one who shot through the wall. They said because you couldn't see what you're shooting at. Okay, why is that same philosophy not applying right now in Ohio?
Why? Exactly.
Bro, they want motherfuckers to have faith in the system and not to say ACAB and not to say 1312 and to meet on common ground and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen.
We don't have no common ground.
There's no common ground. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Because every time we turn the fucking corner, there's another corner to turn.
That's it.
At some point, you realize you're running in a goddamn circle.
And that's it. How many times? And I tell people, you would think that it would be fewer unarmed black people being killed since George Floyd. You would think that. But do you understand there's more? We're watching the numbers increase. It's not lessening.
Right. And as soon as I saw what happened to Jason Walker, and I think you'd probably agree with me, immediately it gave Ahmaud Arbery. And I thought to myself, man, it's funny how they just convicted the McMichaels and Bryan for murder of Ahmaud Arbery. And this man kills Jason Walker in a very Ahmaud Arbery-esque type situation, almost as if to say, nah, that little shit don't scare us.
Right.
Almost, motherfuckers got to realize you don't get out of your big giant truck that you could have just drove away from the threat in and killed somebody unless you truly believe there's
unarmed. What threat was he in your unarmed in your truck? That's what I'm waiting for. See, that's what I'm waiting for somebody to tell me. In the middle of the street, you didn't have to stop there or any of that. But in the middle of the street, what threat did he pose to you in your unarmed in your truck?
What threat? What possible threat? So what's funny about that, and I say this and I understand not everybody has the same training I got, but near the end of my military career, I had the distinct opportunity to be a VIP escort, which is very hard. It's very hard to get into that in the military. But I basically escorted 4-star generals. To do so, you have to go through what's called evasive driving training. I went through 3 different evasive driving courses.
Oh, that explains your driving while I was there.
One in Arizona.
That explains the driving. Okay.
That explains how I got to fucking Riggs' house in 4 minutes a day.
Yeah.
But I went to a course in Arizona, a course in Florida, and a course in Summit Point, West Virginia. Summit Point, West Virginia is actually the same exact course that Secret Service and everybody goes through. It's called BSR. Anyway, I've been through all those courses, and I'm very, very trained driver, as well as one thing you learn in all of those courses, a common theme you learn in all those courses. They teach you that when you're behind the wheel of a car, the number one weapon you have is your car. And they teach you that your car is a better weapon than anything. Because if you really know how to drive your car, that's a badass weapon. Like, I know how to drive. I can go outside right now with my little Nissan Sentra, and I can J-turn that bitch. I'm a great J-turner because it ain't hard once you train on how to do it. So if you know how to drive your car, it's a great weapon. Well, every police officer gets similar evasive driving training that I got. Obviously, my training was more in depth, but they get similar. So therefore, this off-duty cop had that training and knew that his weapon is his vehicle is his best weapon. So it is actually, I want people to understand this because I know law enforcement SOP. It is actually against SOP. For those of you who don't know what SOP is, a standard operating procedure. It is against SOP to get out of your vehicle when you have the option to use your vehicle as a weapon. So if he actually felt like Jason Walker was a threat, his best weapon at his disposal was his vehicle. So for him to stop his vehicle and exit the vehicle and shoot him is actually him using his less weapon to respond to a threat. That's immediately how you know. If you really know this shit, you know that his entire story is bullshit. Period.
Yeah. You know that, and that's true. That's it. I mean, how many of us heard? How many of us? And I was like, how many of us didn't know that to start with? That the entire story was bullshit.
Exactly. That's bingo. What I said off rip is, even if you don't have evasive driving training, a reasonable person's standard is, if you're outside my vehicle without a gun threatening me, I'll just either run you over or drive away. I don't think, you know what? That's a threat. Let me stop and get out of the safety of my vehicle and approach the threat.
And assess this threat.
No, I'll assess that bitch while I leave.
Yes.
Especially if my wife and kids in the car.
No weapon. No weapon present. Wife and kids in the car. You can't get through a locked door.
I can't tell you how many times I've made a less violent decision because my kids are with me. Literally. You know, I've told people before, I'll bust your ass when my kids are here, so we'll talk next time.
Yeah.
Men make less violent decisions when the kids are there. But this man decided to shoot a man in front of his kid. And let's get philosophical. You want to wax philosophical?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how he basically passively just taught his daughter that black lives don't matter. When he shot that man in front of his daughter, who's also an eyewitness, right? Now, the family's not required to testify. It's called spousal privilege and familial privilege. But he basically taught his daughter that black lives don't matter. I want you to think about this. Let's wax philosophical for a minute. Because any reasonable person watching this scenario play out would know there was no reason to shoot that man. Even his teenage daughter. So she now has been taught